Let's talk about situationships. What is a situationship? It's basically two people coming together, acting like a couple, but they're not one. Why? Because they don't label the relationship. So you come together, you guys are talking, the talking stage into the situationship, but you never label it. You go on romantic dates together, you go on vacations together, you go on road trips together, you plan the most amazing dates. You give each other gifts, you're sleeping together. Everything that is done in a relationship, but with no label. You'll find that they are still talking to other people on the side because we are not in a relationship. Yet, from the outside, people look at you and they think you two are together, you two are committed to each other because you walk around like you're actually a couple, but you're not. And you know what I always say? Sadly, there's someone who always gets hurt. And because one of them is just there believing that finally this person will see me as the one they want to spend the rest of their life with, the one who wants a commitment with, have kids together, move in together, get married. But that doesn't happen because, hey, at the end of the day, I did not put a label on it. Why are you getting jealous and we've not put a label on the relationship? I have some points written down, so I'm going to read them. The first one is no commitment, like I said. Basically, there's no title. I'm not your boyfriend, I'm not your girlfriend, I'm not your fiance. I have 0 titles. But I still look like I'm in a relationship with you. Number 2, many excuses. Every time one of them brings up the topic of, oh, so are we going to label this? Nah, I'm already, I really like you, you're a really good person, but I'm not ready to commit, I'm not ready to settle down. I'm just loving how we are kicking it, aren't you having a good time? Aren't you enjoying each other's, aren't you enjoying our company together? Are we not good for each other? But I just don't feel it's necessary to put a title in it. What's the big deal? We live in the 21st century. Why do we need to put labels? Aren't labels just labels? Am I not treating you like a queen? Am I not treating you like a king? That's excuses. Number 3, insecurities. You want the relationship, but you don't want it at the same time because either you have past trauma, you have low self-esteem, you're dealing with problems from past relationships. So you feel the safe place is just to stay in this comfortable place of, if I call them, they'll answer. If I ask them out on a date, they'll go with me. If I buy them gifts, they'll gladly receive them. If we sleep together, they will not refuse. I do not have to go into a relationship, give my whole heart, give my whole everything, be vulnerable, be vulnerable in love, be vulnerable with myself, be vulnerable with my thoughts, with my emotions. I just go in and give them a kind of relationship, but then I keep my heart safe. So some actually have serious insecurities, don't know if they are worth it, don't believe they are worth it, don't want to get hurt. So I protect myself by not labeling this relationship. So I get to enjoy the so-called love without pouring my heart out. Okay? Number 4, never talk about the future. Okay, never hear the statements we, our, us. You'll never hear those statements. It's always I, me, myself, and I. It'll never be our, we, us. There's no future. Even when you bring it up, it goes back to the excuses thing. There'll just be nothing. Never hear about, when we have kids, when we have a home together, building an empire together, those conversations never happen. And dare you bring those conversations up, it's like you've started a serious argument. Some will give you the silent treatment and don't talk to you for weeks, and during those weeks they're with someone else who will not pressure them to talk about commitment. Number 5, they want access without any promises. I want access into your personal life. I want access to every inch of your body. I want access to your finances. I want access to you. But I'm not going to label nothing. I pretty much expect you to give me all these things without, and it all goes back to the first one, commitment. I expect all these things without commitment. Don't ask me about the future. Don't ask me about commitment. Don't ask me nothing. But I expect access to you. You are mine. If I find you talking to someone else, if I find you chatting with someone else, if I find you on a date with someone else, I will cause havoc. But I have not labeled this relationship. I am a very selfish human being that I want you to be mine, but I will not make you mine. I want you to wait there like a pretty flower, like a statue, waiting for me to actually come and tell you this, I'm ready. I ain't ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready, but I want you to be waiting for me. So you'll find this person ends up being very, very jealous when you're with someone else. If you left them, they'll get extremely upset. Extremely. Like, how can you do this to me? After all I went for you. And you're wondering, but you didn't want commitment. I asked you, do you want commitment? You gave me excuses. You didn't put a name on it. You didn't label it. You didn't seem bothered. Now I'm leaving. Why are you getting upset? Number 6, they wine and dine you just to feel good. Remember, the one who, yes, sometimes in situationships, two of you come together and you don't want to label nothing, but many times it ends up being one-sided. Situationship mainly, I think, high percentage of the time, it's one-sided. One wants a relationship, the other doesn't, but this other one stays believing that one day this person will change their mind and XYZ. So they wine and dine it just to feel good. Some of them just want to have the date feeling, have someone thank them for doing this and that for them, have someone make them boost their ego to feel good about themselves, compliment them, speak affirmating words to them, doing things for them, taking them places and all these good things. Just wine and dine you. I feel good. I go home jolly good feeling, knowing that there's someone out there who thinks I'm pretty special. But again, and it's all going to go back to the same thing. I'm not going to label it. It's just to pump me up. 7, placeholder. And I find this one of the most painful things. It's going to, all these points kind of mean the same thing, but sometimes it's good to give a name to something so whoever is listening to me may understand certain things. Placeholder is when, and this, I'm not being gender specific, but this usually happens to women, where a man comes to you with all pizzazz. He's swept you off your feet. Even the way he approached you, even the way he slid in your DMs, it was such an attention getter that this man really wants to get to know me. So he puts you as a placeholder. He knows, let me tell you the truth, he knows you are a wonderful person. He knows that you're a beautiful woman. He knows that you have good morals, good standing. He knows that you're fun, you're easy to talk to. He won't be vulnerable with you. Please remember that. But he knows you're easy to talk to, and he knew if he gave his all to you, you'll treat him like the king. You'll give him the life or the relationship is always desired, but he'll never choose you. It's very rare situations where finally their eyes open, because many times women have woken up and have decided to step because I've seen years have gone by and nothing has happened, even though when they're leaving it's in tears and brokenness. But many times they don't choose you, and that's why I keep insisting it's not because you're not a good person, it's just because they are believing I can hold on to this person who is making me feel like the most amazing person in the world, and believing that outside here there's still a better option. So they're keeping their options open. They don't want to be alone. They don't want to lose this good feeling. When they find the one, they told you, I don't know commitment, I'm not ready for marriage, I'm not ready to talk about the future, I don't want any kids. Then when they leave, you find out that 6 months later, he's engaged to someone else, she's engaged, and getting married, it doesn't take long. It doesn't even take long, and he's married, and you're left wondering, what's wrong with me? Honestly, let me end with this: there's nothing wrong with you, unless of course you in yourself, you're a troublemaker, you have your own issues that you haven't dealt with, because no one is perfect in this world, and we have to admit there's some bad people in this world, both genders. Yeah, so, but there's nothing wrong with you. What you got to do is realize the signs of this. If you want future, if you want lifetime, if you want marriage, if you want kids, family, all this good stuff, don't allow yourself to be caged in a situationship. Someone who really wants to be with you will commit to you.